What is the outline of your role?
Theatre directors coordinate all aspects of a theatrical production, from the production stages and rehearsals right through to the final production. Because Rhino is absurd, I've had to think outside of the box a bit for this production to ensure that every aspect, from the acting to the lighting, really brings out the main themes: individuality, problematic authority and love, including all the strong emotions throughout.
How have you taken the concepts and worked them into your role?
Keeping with the original theme of Rhino, I wanted to keep the themes but put my own twist on it. Taking away the era and having it timeless will represent that all characters are a bit out there and that the play is unrealistic and absurd. I want to make the audience think about the set, the acting, the costumes and the language used. I want the acting to be very direct but out of it at the same time, mental institution-like. I want there to be a square on the middle of the floor, and I want Daisy's monologue to start outside of the square and eventually step into the square as Daisy as she conforms into a rhino, representing the confirmation in the script. I want the set designer to take on my vision and create a dreamy and eerie feel and have it set in an office, but not necessarily look like one. The base costume that each character wears will be jeans and a grey t-shirt, but each costume must represent their personal traits of each character in a weird out there Lady Gaga look. But as each character conforms, as a part of their Lady Gaga costume will come off, they will then be left in their base costume of the grey t-shirt and the jeans by the time they're in the square to represent that they have conformed. But Berenger, who doesn't conform, will stay outside of the square and will stay in his Lady Gaga outfit.
How have you portrayed the director's overall concept?
After talking with the director, we decided that the overall concept of the play would keep with the idea of absurdist theatre and extremely bizarre. As a whole, we decided that we wouldn't put an error on the play, in keeping with that concept. We strongly believe that the themes in the play are universal and relevant to today's society just as much as it would have been years ago. Because of this, I had to design something and incorporate it into the set. I designed a clock with lots of hands to symbolise the timelessness we wanted with this play.
How have you incorporated absurdist theatre into your role?
All the furnishings needed that absurdist sort of look. So I decided to design a range of ideas, and once I'd gotten the approval from the director, I came up with a fun design and I'm in the process of making it. So because I had to keep with this absurdist theatre, in order to incorporate it with the designs, I decided that this door should have different parts, so wood, metal, fabric, and I really want 5 doorknobs. So things that are recognised with a door, however pushed to the extreme. With the design concept, we wanted to make and create a set that at first glance didn't really make sense until you thought a little bit more about it.
What are the difficulties that you've encountered?
Well, as the play isn't set in one scene, I had to keep this in mind while designing. The furniture, especially the larger objects, would have to be mobile and easy to manoeuvre on stage. Through some of my research, I found out that one of the easiest solutions was to put the larger items on wheels. This will make it easy to move the furniture on and off the stage. And as well as some of the scenes not being set inside, I wanted to design like a freestanding door to symbolise the obviousness of being inside.
What is your role as an actor and what are you required to do?
My role as an actor is to be a theatrical performer who can perform in productions, theatre, film, television, radio and much more. Actors are required to interpret and understand their characters and portray them through their physicality, emotions, gesture, voice, etc. Actors must be self-motivated and willing to try new things, as well as constantly trying to improve their acting skills.
What do absurdist actors have to take into consideration?
In particular, absurdist actors have to think about how they utilise their voice, how they portray their body movements and gestures, making sure that they understand their character and their emotions, as well as considering the mood, atmosphere, tempo and place.
How did you relate to the director's concepts and how did you use absurdist techniques?
Well, the director gave me very strict instructions on what she wanted me to do. So she visioned my character to be very out there and a little bit crazy. So I chose a mental institution as an ideograph to help me find the essence of my character Daisy, particularly to help me when making the transition from human to rhinoceros. In my monologue, you'll see how I varied my voice as well as making random rhino noises and pauses. My movements at times are realistic, for example, acting like a rhino would, and sometimes it's unrealistic, like doing acrobatics and dance. Some movements and noises and dialogue are a little bit repetitive, which is very common in absurdist theatre. Also on the stage, there will be a big square outlined in white masking tape, which will represent the conformity. So as my character begins to turn more into a rhino, the closer she'll be to the square, and eventually she'll be inside the square with the rest of the rhinos.
Funny sort of argument. I feel ashamed of what you people call love. This morbid feeling, this male weakness, and female too. It just doesn't compare with the ardor and the tremendous energy emanating from all the creatures around us. Oh, I would have never believed it was possible. I pity you! I pity you. I gave you my word. You can trust me. They're singing! You're mad! They're singing! You don't know the first thing about music, poor dear. And look! They're playing and dancing. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. You ought not to say unpleasant things about them. It upsets me. They are like gods. Now you must not be nasty. It is no longer possible for us to live together.
What does a costume and makeup designer do?
As a costume and makeup designer, I'm responsible to design costumes for the stage production. I'm considered as an important part of the production team. I work alongside the director, setting and line designers, as well as the sound designer. Working very close with these people helps to get all my concepts correct and make my job easier.
What are your concepts for costumes?
As there is no era set for the stage production, I've decided to have really out there costumes before they conform into rhinos. For example, all their costumes will have a Lady Gaga theme to it. I will research into what colours best suits their character and make sure that their costumes has elements of that colour. Their first costumes will have very out there clothing, for example shoulder pads, really big out there shoes, as well as weird hats and glasses. As makeup, they'll have a lot of eyeshadow, different colour lipstick and blush. Then when they conform, they put on a very plain outfit which consists of a grey t-shirt, plain grey jeans and black shoes. They will take their hair out and have it plain and wash all their makeup off so that they look very plain because they are conforming together.